Hello, welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for being here. Today I'm going to be talking about my hair. I'm giving my 2-year Microloc update. I have my notes right here, which I will be referring to and jumping all around as my notes indicate. I'm going to probably try to pop up some pictures right here, but if you have been following along on my channel, you have seen how my hair has progressed over the time. I put them in, I installed them on for 3 days. It took me 3 days. September 4th, I did the front section. September 5th, I did the back section. September 6th, I completed the middle section, and by that day it was complete. I took some pictures on the 7th apparently, because that's the date time stamped in my phone, so I'm sure that's accurate, but I will put those pictures here of how my hair looked immediately after. I did then wash my hair soon after because I wanted it to shrink up so I could see what it looked like. I don't remember when I did that initially, but I'm just going to try to go a little bit in order if I can. I also want to mention that I had texturized hair at the ends, so I had just a little bit of new growth of my natural hair, and the rest of it was lightly permed, very lightly permed, so texturized. And I wanted to make sure I was committed to it, and I waited until October 4th. I interlocked the front section of my hair just because I wanted to make sure I wasn't going to take it out. Interlocked the front section, and then on October 6th I interlocked the back. So by then I felt like I was fully invested. But then I also went back in November, and I didn't like the sizing. So November 4th, I redid the front section and I resized them to make them smaller. Also, when I first installed them, I think I had like 300 and something. I did go back in the back and resize some of the ones in the back as well. So I have a total of, I counted them a few months ago, and I have 417 Microlocs now. Okay, so as far as how I maintain, I do my hair myself. So I self-maintain my hair by doing mainly the 2-point rotation. And this is the tool that I use. Where is it? I think I showed this before. I'm pretty sure I did. This is a revamped yarn needle. So I did just bend it this way to give it this little curve. And I have 3 of these, I think, that I've made. And then I opened up the opening right here so that my hair could fit through it, and curved it. So that is what I use for my interlocking, my rotations, 2-point rotation, because it's just easier. But then I did find that it's sometimes even easier to do multiple rotations in the front. Sometimes it just feels right to go in different directions. So I end up doing 3 and 4 rotations in the front. And I'm very gentle on my edges. I don't know if you can tell, but I have been able to maintain my edges. And it's because I handle the front section of my hair like I'm handling broken glass, shards of glass, when I'm doing this front section. I don't want any tension. I don't want any tightness or anything. So I do very low tension styles. Even now I have this top part up, but it is very loose. I have it pulled back in a little hair tie, but then I like pull this apart so that there's nothing pulling. I already don't like a lot of tension on my hair anyway. It'll give me a headache in like an hour or 2. But with this style, no, I don't want any loss of hair, especially around the edges there. So very gentle, no tension. And I do not believe I have any lint, as far as like being like lint that you can see and say, okay, look at all those spots. None of that. I know a lot of people say that Locs are lint magnets, but I don't have that problem, thank God, because lint and loss of edges were my 2 biggest concerns going in, and I can safely say that I don't have a problem with either one. I hope that continues, because obviously it's not long, so it's not like it's like dragging against a lot of my clothing at this point, because my hair is not really reached down my back yet. We'll see what happens when I get there. I do wear a silk bonnet. I have a satin or silk pillowcase, which I sleep on every night. If I'm laying around on the couch or something, or on blankets and pillows, I will put my bonnet on. I don't wear it all the time around the house, but if I'm lounging, purposely watching a movie or something where I'm leaning back and I don't have my pillowcase, if I'm just on a regular couch, I will put my bonnet on. Also, I have a cat and a dog. I'm very careful about vacuuming up behind my animals, and they're not allowed on the furniture. But of course, the cat from time to time will even get up here and sit on these pillows. So if I'm sitting on these pillows, the hair could possibly get there. And she doesn't really go up there a lot, but occasionally I will catch her up there and I will vacuum. Keep this area nice and fresh. I try to vacuum as much as possible. I don't want any cat hairs in my hair. Sounds gross, but yes, I'm very cautious when it comes to these animals. A topic for another day or another video is my germaphobe potential. So that's another situation that prevents me from having a lot of animal hair around, because I'm very, very germ conscious. I will say that. Some people like to say germophobic, but I don't really like to use that word, but I am germ conscious. I'm pretty sure I have lost 2 locks, not from the root though, but maybe somewhere that they broke off, and then I saved them, so I do have them. But I'm just letting the hairs grow back. I don't know if they got thin, but I know I have 2 locks, one over here and one over here, that are like kind of thick. Not too thick, but just regular at the root, and then they get very, very thin, and then it gets back regular. And I'm not sure if those will break off at some point, but those are the only 2 that I have identified so far. Hopefully that they could just progress, and as they grow, I'll probably just cut it at the weak part. But for now, I'm not bothering with it. I'm just gonna let them grow and see what they do. The longest that I have gone between reties is about 10 weeks, I think. And I didn't really have a problem with that. I think I would go 10 weeks again, and maybe as I go further along, I might even stretch it out to 12 weeks if I wanted to, by choice. Obviously things can come up where it could get pushed back because of those situations that are not intentional, but I would intentionally push my reties to 12 weeks if I could, because 10 weeks was not bad. It was when I did 10 weeks another time when I was earlier in my lock process, and I think it was not that great because I had a lot of frizziness. Like right now I have a lot of frizzy parts to my hair at this moment, but it seems like either I've gotten better at my reties or my hair has locked better, so that when I waited the 10 weeks it wasn't a big deal. So that's that. As far as how long it takes me to do a retie, I have so far not been able to retie my hair all in one day. The longest it's taken me, I think, was maybe 4 days, which I did that one time and stretched it out because stuff just kept happening. Things kept coming up as far as my schedule or whatever, so I couldn't get to it. The shortest has been 2 days, and that's what is like typical. I'll do like half and half. So I'll usually start in the back and then finish in the front, and that takes 2 days. This most recent time was probably, I'm like 3 or 4, am I like 3 weeks post retie right now? And this last time took me 2 days. It was very quick, and then the timing that it took for those 2 days was quick. I think I'm just getting faster. And I will use a mirror. So for the back half, I won't really use a mirror that much. Like I'll feel for it more so, where I have intertwined 2 locks before, and that's horrible. I think I've gotten a lot better because I haven't had that problem again. But it did happen before, and that was in the back. In the front, I mainly will check in the mirror just because it's the front. I don't want any accidents, and it's just easier to stand in the mirror if I'm looking in the front. And I will space it out over a few hours, and before I know it, it's done. But for me, I love the process of sewing my hair. It's really like sewing, and I like the self-care, the maintenance of it. I actually enjoy the process. So to me, it's no big deal at all. I don't know when I would ever go to a loctician. Not sure if that would be a thing that I would ever do. I mean, maybe as I get older. I don't plan on getting rid of these. So if I'm like an older woman, I don't know if my arm will be able to withstand all of that. So maybe eventually down the line, but for now, in the foreseeable future, I don't see that being a thing that I would do. My favorite styles are like curly styles, like The pipe cleaner curls I've done a couple of times. I've done roller sets, I've done twist outs, braid outs of course, and all of those styles are my favorites. Twist out was kind of a good option though, because when I did a twist out, I made the twist kind of small, so I was able to wear them for a couple of days and then take them out. Whereas a braid out, I won't wear the braids usually because they're usually a little bit chunkier and I don't really like that look on me. So I won't really go out with braids, but I did enjoy the twist out because it was like two styles in one. And again, I don't really take pictures of my hair per se. I think I have this one from Mother's Day where I did like a French roll in the back and then I had curls in the front. So I'll try to pop that picture in. And any other styles you may have seen, you would have seen in my videos. I'm pretty much recording in real time when I'm doing my sewing videos, and when I'm revealing the outfit, that's my hairstyle. In the wedding reveal video where I did a wedding guest outfit, that style was roller set and then I just did a half up, half down. Yeah, so I love anytime my hair is in any kind of curls or rolls or anything. I don't really prefer the straight look, but I will wear it sometimes. So my hair right now is just an old roller set, which I didn't roll the hair all the way up. I just did the roller like halfway, and this is the drop of that. I have trimmed my hair maybe 3 or 4 times because the ends just didn't look great. Sometimes there would be like a roll or a knot at the end, which I would trim off. Other times I have trimmed off straighter looking ends because, as I mentioned, my hair was texturized before, so I have trimmed off some of the straighter ends as well. And then I trimmed off a good amount in the front because I wanted to have like a layered look, especially for braid outs in particular, or twist outs, where everything is not dropped in the same length. And I did most recently do that maybe like 2 months ago, so that is fairly new, and I'm happy with the result. Like, it didn't really do much, but I feel like it just gave it a better fall. For oil sheen, I talked about oil sheen previously, and I still use it every once in a while. The same can that I showed in my previous update, I still have it because I don't use it that much. I will use a little bit of oil on my fingers and just rub it through my scalp because I do understand the need for scalp stimulation with locks, because you're not brushing or combing your hair the normal way, so that you do need to stimulate your scalp in a way that will give it some life, to keep it rejuvenated, and also to stimulate growth. So I will do that. Oh, I did want to show you my lock combs, so I'm going to get those in a second. But I will also use water with rose water, regular water with rose water, and then a little bit of oil is what I will put in a spray bottle. And I have the continuous spray bottle where, you know, you just spray it and then it just keeps going and going. I will spray my hair with that on occasion, not every day, but whenever it feels necessary. I will spray it into my scalp just to refresh my scalp. I will rinse my hair like I've mentioned before, where I'm not shampooing it, I'm just rinsing it out. Still doing that when necessary, usually in the summertime or something like that. But yeah, that's my like, not really a routine because nothing is on a set schedule or anything, but it's just what I do. Also, I wanted to talk about washing my hair real quick because I think I discovered something that I've never heard anybody else talk about, but I think it's important to wash our hair in a certain way where it's not the same as how we would wash our hair if we were loose naturals or had loose hair in general, permed or natural. And that is, first I'm going to show you the shampoos that I am still using and a new one that I have added. I showed this shampoo that I purchased from Marshall's or TJ Maxx. It's almost to the bottom now. When I showed it before, I had just gotten it and I still have it, but it's very low to the bottom, so I'm pretty much almost done with that. I still use this one. It works good for clarifying. I think it's good for clarifying. It's one of those ones that's clear. I consider that a clarifying shampoo and it works good. I was following it up with a Shea Moisture shampoo, which I still have, but I got this one for my daughter. I got her the whole Carol's Daughter setup. So the shampoo, conditioner. I don't use conditioner in my hair, but I did get her this line, and this is the shampoo. This I love. I have used this a few times now since she had it, and this leaves my hair so luxuriously soft, and it lasts. Like, it does not feel dry after I use this for days and days and days. I love this. Highly, highly recommend it. And it's not like I felt like I had like considerably dry hair before, but when I use that, it just feels so luxurious. That's all I can say. Again, I highly recommend it. And then with that, what I wanted to talk about as far as washing, you know, when you have loose hair, how do you wash your hair? You just get in the shower, wash it, scrub, 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 rinse it out, and it just runs down. All the soap and everything run down. Yes. So my newfound thing that I have been doing when I wash my hair is not really letting it just run down my hair. I will put my hair into 4 sections. A lot of people do the braiding and banding when they first get their locks before they mature, and sometimes people continue to do that. I don't know, but I didn't necessarily do that, but I did find that sections work very well. So let me just demonstrate. I will put my hair into 4 sections, but I'll just demonstrate with the back, just to show you in 2. So it'll be 2 here and 2 here. And what I will do is put the shampoo, and I'll have it in like hair ties. I'll use these, I don't even have one. Hold on. Okay. I will use these hair ties, which are very good for locks in particular. And I will put these, use 4 of these, and make 4 sections. So within the section will be pretty loose, so it's just like this. Just go around one time and put it like that. Okay, then I will shampoo as normal, get all the shampoo in my hands, get it into here, and shampoo all into the scalp. And this will be on the first wash, in particular with the clarifying one, because I want to clarify my scalp. So I'll just wash in there, and I'll do that on all 4 sections. And then when I rinse it though, I'm not rinsing it down my hair. I will hold the section, and I have like a handheld one where it can come down, and I'll just hold it, and I'll put it on like a strong pressure, and I will put that right onto the scalp, and I'll hold my head to the side so that anything is coming down this way instead of going down the hair. And it just runs all through here, down the side, in whichever direction, but instead of trailing down. Because let's say you have dandruff and you have washed that off of your scalp, and you have locks. Locks don't just, things can't just run down normally like if your hair was loose. So if you have dandruff or any kind of debris or anything, or that you're washing out of your hair and you have loose hair, everything can just run out, and you can open up the strands and let everything run clear. But with locks, because it's just a thick section of hair, chances are when it's rinsing down, it can just get locked into the lock, or like caught in the lock. So I find that rinsing down this way and not down the hair prevents any of that from happening. So that is my recommendation for anyone with locks and you're washing your hair. And again, that is on the clarifying shampoo. Obviously you can do the clarifying shampoo on your hair after that too, but I will do that for the first shampoo with the sections. Then I will take the sections out and I will shampoo my hair as normal, especially focusing on the hair and not the scalp as much, because I've already cleaned the scalp. Everything has run down this way and not down this way. You see the difference? It would be running down this way, potentially getting trapped in the lock. And instead of that, I'm letting it run down this way. And then I'll wash my hair, as I was saying, squeeze it all out, rinse it all out, and then continue as needed. I tend to just use the clarifying one, focusing on the scalp. Then I will go follow that up with this one, my new favorite, and let that get on the scalp too, but not like I'm really trying to focus on that. I'm more so focusing that on the hair because that's the more moisturizing one. And then I will treat my scalp with the oil after. Not right after, but maybe a couple of days later. And then I'm all set. So that is something that I would recommend to anyone who is washing their locks, has locks, is interested in locks, that you would want to consider. And oh yeah, and then I did get my lock combs. Here they are. So these are nice because as my hair has gotten longer, I find that these are easier to just like, it's nice to finger comb too, but just using this kind of gives it a little bit more of a smoothness and gets through any kind of little tangles a lot better. And these also are good for stimulating your scalp. The idea is that you're supposed to get these down to the scalp. You can even like just do a little bit of a direct, you know, like this, directly there in any areas that need it. And I highly recommend these. I got them as a set from Amazon and I will link them below. All right, and I think I have covered all of my notes. But yes, I do plan on just doing annual updates, I think, because I don't really do a lot of hair focused content. If anything, again, you will see those in my normal videos. And yeah, I'll just be back for my 4-year, what did I say, 4? I'll be back for my 3-year update next year. So hopefully you'll be able to stick around. And if you have any specific questions, I will definitely respond to those. And if you want me to make certain videos, I could do that, but I don't know what the interest level is, especially my channel is not really focused on hair, but I have no problem delving into the hair area if there is an interest, but you would have to let me know that. So leave me a comment below if there's anything you want me to share or talk about, or if you want me to demonstrate anything, style, do anything like that, or if there's anything I didn't cover and you want to know, let me know below and I will definitely get back to you. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one.